Hey, Pastor Randy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Great to be with you on a beautiful Monday as we kick off a brand new teaching series that we're simply going to call It's Over. Or is it? We're going to look at the life of Peter as part of our example. But this is a real issue that a lot of people struggle with. The idea that it's done, it can't be fixed, there's no turnaround. And we could go on and on with the cliches, but we're going to look at a story that is located in the book of John. And it's when Peter and the disciples were out fishing all night and then ended up having a conversation, a very deep conversation with Jesus. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about how that looks. We're talking about how that relates to us. I want to read something to you. This is a verse from a song. It was recorded by Elvis and, of course, many others over the years. But this one is really powerful. It's really featured in the 1973 Aloha special. The song is called "It's Over." These words really speak to me. Now, no, it's not a gospel song, and no, it's not related to Jesus. But I am inspired by these words because it's a mindset that I want us to really capture the feeling in this art, in this poetry, and take it over into our story and how it relates to what we're going to be talking about over the next several lessons. So I turn my back. I turn my collar to the wind. I move along in silence, trying not to think at all. I set my feet before me, walk the silent streets before me. Now it's over. Have you ever felt that way? Just be honest. Have you ever felt like it's over? I've messed up too much. Life has passed me by. I've made too many mistakes. The phrase, "it's over," we can find that in both negative and positive. We can find it on both sides of the spectrum. At the end of a long day, we finally sit down in our favorite chair and we kind of relax and enjoy the moment. And we say, "I'm glad that's over." Maybe a difficult situation, whatever maybe you were facing, we're glad that that's over. And then maybe a situation is dire. Maybe the situation is overwhelming. Maybe it's truly defeated us. And we say, "It's over. All hope is lost. I can't go on anymore. The end has come." Meaning finality. There's no reverse. There's no fixing. I want us to take a little bit of time, maybe the next few days, and I want us to look at the emotional battle that Peter was facing, the things that he was struggling with, the aftermath, if you will, of his denial of Jesus. We find ourselves very, very easily to be able to relate to that. Well, wait a minute, Pastor, I've never denied Jesus. Have you? We're going to look at that. We're going to look at exactly what Peter was fighting internally over these next several lessons. We're going to look at the power of this situation. And we're going to look at the hope that we can find in the words of Christ himself. We ask the question again as we look at this lesson. It's over. Or is it? I want to take you through a journey. And we're going to break this down little by little. We're going to look at the understanding of this story and how it came to be. We're going to look at the fact that this was the third time that Jesus had appeared to them after the resurrection, and the importance of this moment, the importance of this meeting, especially in the life of Peter. And so we're going to be focusing on that over the next several lessons. Today is simply just a little introduction to get you hopefully excited about something we're going to be talking about, because I'm telling you, friends, this is going to speak to you. I believe that with all my heart, because it's personal. And every good story that is personal is relatable, because we can put ourselves there. The lines of that song, the context of this story, all of these different things are opportunities for us to say, that's me. And the joy that we find in that is not in the revelation that we see ourselves in a familiar spot, but rather that we find an answer. And that is what the stories contained within the Bible, that's what they're all about, friends. So many are missing that. And I am not telling you that I have found all the answers, or that I've had some great revelation, that I've got a new teaching that nobody's ever heard of. No. But this speaks to me. When we look at the characters that we are introduced to throughout the scriptures, we can find ourselves there if we will allow it. Every good story allows you to be drawn in. Every good movie that's a good movie can allow you to be drawn in and say, well, that could be me. I could have done that. I could have said that. I did say that. We've all been down those roads. Well, the Bible's absolutely no different, because it is every intention of Scripture to point us to the answer, and the answer is Christ every single time. And this story is no different. We are familiar, all of us in general are familiar with the story of the denial that Peter gave when it came to the leading up to the cross. I don't know him. I have no idea who that is. Leave me alone. I've never heard of him before. We could go on through that. But what we're not always thinking about is afterwards. The emotional battle going on inside of Peter. Even though it was clear that Jesus had forgiven him and all had been made well and gone on, Peter, in the back of his mind, was still fighting. Man, I really messed up. There's no way I can there's no way I can fix this. There's no way I can recover from this. I've gone too far. I really, really messed up. Yes, I've been put back into the fold. Yes, I've been accepted back into the circle. But what we find within Peter's words, within Peter's heart, is hesitation. In other words, I'm not sure. Really focusing in on me, I'm not sure. Now, Jesus had not given him any reason whatsoever to feel that way. None whatsoever. All was okay. All was well. But it wasn't well inside. Peter was really wrestling with the fact, man, I really messed up. I really, really messed up. And yeah, I want to make things better. I want things to be okay. I didn't want anything to be strange like this. I don't want this to be weird every time we're having this conversation. But this was a big deal to me. Let me ask you this before we close today in this first lesson. Is self-doubt a very easy place to get to when a relationship is not as strong as it needs to be? I'm going to leave you with that. And we'll pick back up on that on the next part tomorrow when we come back. Is it over? I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.